Hi, I'm Jake with Hardwood Reflections, and I've got our Butcher Block Pro here with us today, John with Stone Ridge Woodcraft. And you know, John's worked on all of our block before, and we'd like to give you some tips on how to fix or repair your Butcher Block.
Yep, we're doing a little bit of a comparison on finishes. This side here is actually a spray-on polyurethane. Your brush-on would be basically, it's going to be the same. This side over here is using Howard's Butcher Block oil. And say if you get say you dropped your knife on your table, or you forgot to use a cutting block, which we do recommend. Even these are Butcher Blocks, still recommend using a cutting board for your cutting your food up. And probably underneath, if you're hot pans, pots and pans, you're not going to want to set them just like you wouldn't on any other countertop. You wouldn't want to set a hot pot or pan on them. So, but yeah, let's take let's put a scuff in each one, see what happens. And that's pretty deep. That's a pretty sharp chisel. So let's see what we got to do to sand these out and what it's going to take. So this is 100 grit paper on this. And you see the way that those are still showing up here.
Yeah, you can still see them pretty well.
And you're going to have to go down quite a ways through the finish on this to get to those. Let's do the same thing on the one with the Howard's mineral oil. Okay, you're still going to see them. Now I'm going to go to like a 200 grit, 220 grit, and this is actually on a sponge pad. Try to get where you really can't feel them anymore on both sides. Now I'm going to go to it's a fine, it's probably going to be about a 320. One thing you're going to notice is this whole area on this one becomes kind of chalky looking, kind of dull, where the rest of it's kind of a semi-gloss. And on this one, you're not going to notice that much difference. Okay, let's try. I'm going to hit this one with the polyurethane again. You could actually keep sanding and sanding and get these all the way out, these marks. But being a Butcher Block countertop, it's part of the patina. It's part of the life cycle of the top. The same way with, maybe a small dent or something, or you dropped something. Personally, I wouldn't get concerned about it. I like that kind of look. Think of your old farmhouses. And if you're putting a Butcher Block in, you're probably thinking maybe some of the older styles. Let's try and see what happens when we put some Butcher Block oil back on this side. So this is the Howard's Butcher Block conditioner and oil. It's actually got a wax and an oil base to it. You can rub it in with your hand. It's all, this one is actually definitely food safe. So with the Butcher Block oil side, you can use this right away. After you've wiped it off a little bit, you can go back to cooking and using your kitchen. With the side where you've got possibly a polyurethane type finish, you're going to have to wait about 8 to 10 hours before you can actually use that area of your kitchen again. So that's one of the reasons I really recommend using a Butcher Block oil over the life of your countertops. I think that you're probably going to be happier. Jake, are you drinking wine already this morning?
You know, it's nearly noon. So what do we have? What do we have this red wine for?
Well, dump some on this countertop. You know, sometimes we're concerned about stains on our countertops, and especially with a Butcher Block, So we get a lot of questions from homeowners say, well, how good is it going to stand out to the stain? Can you zoom in? Look at the way that this is just sitting right on top of the surface. And this is the butcher block oil surface. And this side over here, it's actually beaded up also. And this is on the polyurethane side. Now I got to clean up Jake's mess.
Geez, that cleans up very well.
I don't see any staining on that one. Seems like a waste of wine, Jake.
That is a waste of wine. And that is completely gone right there. That's
So both of them did well in that. So, I don't think you need to be afraid of, if red wine won't stain it, I don't think we're going to have a problem.
Then nothing's going to stain it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, John, thank you so much today for showing us how to repair your butcher blocks and also to kind of give you peace of mind to see how simply stain resistant these butcher blocks are. Thank you.
Glad I could help. Cheers.